Okay, so I had to start a video again because the other one had to stop because of the fact that I was passing someone and I thought, oh, I'm gonna take uh, put the video in pause, and then I ended up flipping the screen over and cancelling my previous video. So what was I saying? I don't know, I'm just rambling about nothing. I was just saying I woke up extra early, was in a pretty good mood, and then I got up right away and had to prepare for the doctor where I'm walking to right now. And I love these shoes. Expensive shoes are a great investment once you realize you can get a really good pair of shoes. It might cost more technically. Oh, that's the water people. That's where we get our water from. They might cost more technically, but my feet are thanking me for getting a good pair of Skechers shoes. They have inbuilt arch support, and once again my feet feel so much better now that I'm kind of wearing more supportive shoes. My other sneakers I had input arch support, but I just don't like walking in them because they're not supportive enough for my feet, because I walk over these pebbles and sticks and things, and I feel like if I don't have good shoes, I feel like I'm going to twist my ankle just for, and they're just not. These ones are sort of slightly platformed, and I love platform shoes. They just get you further away from the ground and you feel the ground a lot less, which is great for when you're walking, because then you won't go ow, and if you've got a sensitive foot like my feet are, and the arch supports is doing my feet so much good. So I'm very happy with my shoes because it makes me happy to walk in them. I just feel like I'm not going to strain my ankle just because I'm walking. And all these little pebbles are not really a problem for me to step on, because the platform in the shoes making them feel as small as they are rather than an obstacle. But all I could do was think about this morning was movies, and I was like, I don't know. I was thinking about I did a lot of applications this week, but I don't know if I will get any. I did this crazy stint for someone who's doing videos for what is it called? I forget the video platform. Anyway, they're making videos for social media, and I was like, I put my pro quo, guarantee this, and I can do that for you if you like. And I don't know, maybe I didn't try very hard. I should have probably put on a different tone, but I don't think I'll get it anyways. But so that was one of them. But I put in a lot of applications this week, and I'm not sure if anyone will get back to me. But I was very proud because I had to remember a whole script, and it took quite a few hours for me to start to absorb it and get it and be able to reiterate it. So I was like, come on, I know I have a memory in there somewhere, because I don't use scripts a lot. And so when someone pushes a script right up to you, it's like instant overload just for looking at it. So I plugged it for hours, like on a couple of hours one day, and then I said, oh, I'm only just absorbing some of the beginning, and then I did it on another day as well, and I managed to be able to get a good version of the reiteration on the second try, and I was like, that'll do. That'll do. It's pretty accurate. It's almost word for word. With the possibility of one word out of, the several phrases being out of place. And and I was like, yeah, I was pretty proud that I managed to get through it, but it was a big challenge. My mind is absolutely gone. I don't use my memory a lot. I mean, generally you use it, sure, but it's like I don't use, the fast absorption of information to reiterate it word for word a lot. That kind of function in your memory. So I was like, oh, that was a big challenge, but anyway. So I'm just generally walking to the doctors and just gotta get some scripts. It's just gonna be another day. I think I have to put a list of itineraries, what I have to do, and just do it, because I often slack off in the evenings. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'll do it tomorrow morning when I wake up and I'm fresh. But I've been waking up and I've been feeling lousy lately. I have no idea why. I wake up and I'm like, I'm not going to do anything today. I've got a headache, or my eyes are watering. I still feel tired. Anyway. But I think the first thing I have to do is my script for my assignment. I think that's the most important thing this week. And then I have to do several other things. Anyway, there's nothing much going on. The sky is bright blue. The trees are looking healthy despite the fact that the ground is extremely dry. And yeah. Last night I was looking up dogs on the internet just to see what's up for adoption. But I don't think you got a good scope of what's in the pound off the internet. I often think if you walk into a pound, you'll find the variety of dogs and cats that you would expect, and I don't like choosing stuff off the internet. I mean, sometimes you might get a good scope, but I feel like they've got pets on the internet, and then I'd rather just walk in and choose, and then you can choose from a whole list of pets, which ones you kind of want. I like the walk-in service more than the internet-based, because I just don't think you get... I mean, I like the internet so you can see what's there, but it doesn't have everything. It only has a few choices, I'd rather just walk in and see everything and see what's there. And I think if I ever buy a pet in the future, I'll probably get one from the Adopt a Pet. Get one from the pound or RSPCA or whatever you call it. Wherever you pick up pets from, I don't know. Because I know that they're fairly full, and I'm like, why not pick up a couple over there? But I don't have to worry about pets right now. I'm not actually that well off to move off and have my own place again. And yeah, it's still just toiling around with the idea of applying for more jobs and this and that. I just think if I get another job in the morning, say, that'll be good. I get sick of talking though. I want other types of jobs other than talking, because I already talk all the time with the other jobs, and everything's such a headache. The only thing that's going to give me relief is the fact that I have an additional pursuit at the moment. Well, I actually have too many additional pursuits. I have so many stupid jobs. I just want to drop the ones that I'm doing. But I just want to be like, no, it's not good enough. I want to stop spending. I want to just stop spending and start saving. Because I do spend a lot. I want to stop buying clothes. I've got enough clothes to last me a couple of years. Except for shoes. If these shoes wear out, I'll buy another pair just like them. Because they're the best. But yeah, I've got lots of shoes. I've got summer shoes, I've got winter shoes, I've got big boots that I always like to have for no particular reason, and I've got wonderful sneakers that I use most often, so if any of them wear out, the sneakers will. But yeah, it's just, look at that hillside. Look at it over there. Anyway, yeah, I'm still amazed that whoever wants to drop their house, I'm still amazed that they want to do that and not realizing they're going to spend the same amount in a rental that they choose. So, ideally, but I guess in this way, I think they're the ones paying for it. I think that's what the issue is, because it's their house that they have to pay for everything, and I don't think the other person's pitching in as much. And then if they drop for a rental, then they'll go back to 50-50 or something. So I think that's the idea of dropping the responsibility. And if they can't pay 50-50 in a rental, then they can wander off and house share with other people and spend less and less, obviously, and until you're paying like $150 and not like $350 a week. So. But I think that's the idea of it. I think they feel like they have a feeling like they have no right to ask anyone else for assistance, because essentially it's their responsibility to pay their bills because it's their house. And then if it's a rental, though, it's like it's a little bit fairer because they're no longer owning the house. It's more like everyone pitches in because they're all renting. But I just think, oh, you're going to be spending the same amount of money for a rental, because rentals are quite expensive. You don't often get a rental. Unless it's in a really crappy area, there's hardly anything under $250. And more often than not, it's more like $280. Up to $380 per week, and you're like going, what? It's the same amount you're paying now for your house. So unless you live in a crappy area, and then that's when you feel like you're renting a crappy rental. But that's sort of my options too. I sometimes go for the most expensive places that have solar power. That's a whopping $550 a week rental, but that's with the idea that you get solar power, so you don't pay for your electricity. Because my electricity bills hit the roof when you realize that you're using fans and heaters all the time, and computers all the time, and so that would be my options if I chose to move out. Either get world's cheapest small apartment, or get a really nice sized property that has solar power. Because even in a cheap apartment, the energy prices, because they're so far up, they can exceed a decent amount, and you're like, oh, may as well just get the more expensive property if you're paying that much in electricity and power, because it ends up somehow as cheaper, and it's still a lot of money. Like, going, I don't know how I do this to myself. I don't know how this works. But that's my options when I move out, or just buying a house. But once again, I'm probably going to sell it pretty soon after I buy it, unless it's a really good place in a really good area. Looking for a cheap, crappy property to buy. At the moment, it's slim pickings though. I was looking it up like last weekend. There's not that many cheap places, not even apartments. I don't think I bought a tissue, dang. And I'm like going, where am I supposed to live if I want to move out? I was like, I don't know. I'm waiting in water. But you do keep your eye out, because sometimes you get wonderful apartments for like $150 or $180, and you're like going, oh, I feel like I've just hitting a lottery ticket. I feel like I'm lucky. Sometimes you get the world's crappiest place in the crappiest area, but and houses too, like some 150 houses are really, really good. Like I said, if I were in my financial position now, back when we were moving, I would have seriously considered this 180 unit, with the idea that I need a tissue, man. With the idea that it's a good price and in a good location in a suburb. I can finally do what I like. But I missed out on it because I didn't have a job. And I was like, dang it, I've got a deposit, I just don't have the income. So I missed out, and I haven't seen anything as good as that one since. Anyway, here I am at the medical center, so I'm going to go and come back later.